Hello, so it's time to make our getaway, it looks like. Whoop. Who are these guys? What are they wearing? Was that guy doing like acrobatics or something? I'm wondering if this is like in Half-Life 1 where you had two kinds of soldier enemies. The Black Ops acrobatic guys and the normal grunts. Because that guy definitely seems to be more mobile than most of the people we were facing up against lately. Hey, where's Vex? Is she not coming with me? I guess...
Remember me? I expected this kind of betrayal from Coxon. From you, Ward, wish it didn't have to go down like this. You made your choice.
Damn it. Look, Hanbo, can you talk to this lady? Wondering if I kill the other soldiers, do I get a chance to talk to her and explain? Whoops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How do I... Is there any way I could... Whoa. Wait, do these guys regenerate their vitality? Oh no, I was just a different guy. How many of you fuckers are there? Do I have to kill her? Do these guys just keep spawning until Arinier dies? looks like they do just infinitely spawn. There's probably some choice I could have made that would have allowed me to keep her alive. Maybe if I'd been friendlier to her when we were talking on that mission. I feel like there is a better way to handle that. I'm just not sure what that way would be. Oh, there. I mean, I guess I appreciate that it would be difficult to have friendlies accompanying me, and that... Why does it always open the encyclopedia behind me? And that everyone hates escort missions, but it's a little weird that they just appear at the end there. Yeah, and we have to have the crowded asteroid field here. That's interesting, because that exhaust that I saw there sort of reminds me of that visual effect. I couldn't figure out what it was earlier when it was just sort of floating in space, and I'm wondering if that was a bug earlier, that they had the exhaust object, but it wasn't associated with the proper location. So instead of trailing behind the ship, it just it just hung there in space. That's why it didn't make any sense what it was doing. So is there anything new in here? Nope. In the case of
I used to be so excited when I opened the Prime Radiant. I'd marvel at all of Selden's brilliant predictions. But after the attack on the array, I'm filled with this sense of foreboding. I get why it affected Uncle Hugo so deeply. You start putting names to numbers, and it's no longer abstract.
I'm not sure that would be Hugo specifically's problem. It's interesting, they've changed there's only one here. There used to be, I think, 3 of Hugo's logs here. From Raven's Nest. Raven, of course, was what, as mentioned earlier, that was what they called Selden, so presumably this is in some way a reference to that. Up here received, Resurrectionist in imminent danger. Resurrectionist? Fly to the tomb with dispatch. Okay, that's interesting. Why does it have a hand panel here if it just opens automatically on that side? No?
I've moved us closer to the planet.
Oh, so
Atmospheric radiation should confuse the sensor.
I was gonna talk to each of them individually, but it looks like I can't do that. As soon as I get in here, it starts the whole conversation.
Of any Imperial ships.
You're wasting your time. They can still track the agent here through their implant.
You have a subdural implant? I knew you were hiding something.
Does this mean the Commission has been listening in on everything we say?
Lie to them. Astoria can't know she's being manipulated.
Both, yeah. That's a much more
Commissioner
plausible.
Bo thinks I'm working with him to infiltrate the Foundation.
How do we know you cut ties with the Empire?
I just took out an entire platoon of Imperial soldiers.
They didn't give you much of a choice.
Vex is right. Acting in self-defense doesn't prove that you've turned your back on the Empire.
They're not wrong.
I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
Anyway, As I told Ward, the Foundation agent is somewhere in the capital city. I have a friend on the surface who can help us get in. I need to send her a message and then we can...
Hold that thought. Message coming up from the Viceroy.
I thought you said they couldn't find us.
It's not for us. General broadcast. All frequencies.
People of Zoran.
I didn't recognize her at first when she isn't, now that she's not wearing that ridiculous getup.
2 days ago, citizens from your world launched an unwarranted and unprovoked assault on the Aegis Array, resulting in the deaths of thousands of innocent lives.
What is with her
For this
accent?
unforgivable offense, we should level your world. However, our intelligence indicates that this attack was carried out by a splinter organization known as the Zor Ardent. So I have chosen to be magnanimous. Hand over every single member of the Ardent, starting with the warlord Grilk, and I will spare your world.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Otherwise, I promise you, your planet will burn. You have 1 solar day to comply.
Vega.
That was more measured than I expected.
My mother's not evil. Misguided, perhaps, but not evil.
Debatable.
Clock's ticking now. I've set our coordinates for Zornel. Hit the button when you're ready, Ward. Now fly us in.
It bugs me that these holo capsules often don't work the first time. You have to keep juggling them back and forth.
Hey, Ward. Thought you'd want to know I made it off the array. I'm back with Mom in the wastes. Thanks for not spacing me. It's reassuring to know there are good people in this cold, unfeeling galaxy. Hey, Ward. Thought you'd want to know.
Travel Advisory, Zoranel. The Zor are engaged in active hostilities with the Galactic Empire. As such, Imperial citizens are advised to steer clear of the planet. I feel like that Travel Advisory thing is something I've seen in a different game.
I've got nothing to say to you, Empire. Or to whomever might be listening in.
I don't think that was correct.
Let's just get through this mission and then we can each go our separate ways.
I don't think that's actually a place where you're supposed to use whom. I think that should be who. Or whoever. Minder from Traders Guild. Trader Morrow, your dues are 437 days overdue. Bring your account up to date immediately or membership will be revoked. That's an interesting reference. In the future, although they still use basically the Earth calendar, 365 days and so forth, they don't use months anymore. Instead, you just talk about the 237th day of the year or whatever. This obviously is more than 1 year, but it's interesting that they just do it and count at the number of days.
Sorry, Ward, but I don't want everything I say to be picked apart in some commissioner's office.
Notes of a dirty old spacer. It's over, it's done. They've sent me to get her in to get some rest. I need rest like a dog needs a kick. Is this all there is? I come to the end of the trees, lift my eyes to the big blue imperial sky. Okay, I didn't... Okay, sure. In case...
Ward. Hi.
Okay.
You should have told us about the implant. You put us all at even greater risk.
Huh. I screwed up or you withheld info too. I'm gonna say I screwed up because I want to get on her good side.
I'm sorry. I should have told you right away.
This won't work unless we can trust each other. You've done some things that have made me wary. But for months before I left the array, I had to be so careful about what I said to whom. I can't go back to living like that. I think I'm just worked up. It's been a tough couple of weeks. I'll stop being so suspicious. So, what brings you here?
So it's interesting because my character seems to have absolutely no moral issues with altering someone's mind, which I guess is actually, I guess sort of makes sense because there's larger issues at stake, and weirdly, Asimov also seems to have had no problems with that. And in fact, even many of the characters had no problems with that, whose own minds were being manipulated. Elijah Bailey and Harry Seldon both had their minds manipulated so they couldn't reveal the information, and they knew this and just completely did not care about it. Although also, Asimov does seem to have understood the Resistance. He goes into this whole... The Mule goes into this whole sort of speech at the beginning of Second Foundation about how the mind naturally resents being controlled, and how if I were removing the control of these people, they would immediately try to kill me. Opinion of Vex.
What's your take on our new crewmate?
She seems like she's very capable.
That was very diplomatic, and also a lie.
Okay, fine. She terrifies me. I feel like a babbling teenager when she's around.
Do you have
What
a
do you
crush
think
on
of
her? Do you have a crush on her?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
And you accuse me of being diplomatic.
I was surprised by your mother's broadcast.
It's what I would have done. But that's not how I meant. I mean, it was a smart move, strategically speaking.
Yeah.
It's a show of strength while simultaneously keeping the door open to a rapprochement with the Zor.
That's not how...
My mother did not become viceroy by being rash.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a reasonable, given the morals involved here.
Do you think it was a mistake to help the peddler?
I think it was a tough decision, but I probably would have supported Ezra Toombs. The peddler is a monster. Men like him are why the Empire is in such bad shape. But that's easy for me to say. I was up here on the ship.
I need to go.
Before you go, I just wanted to say thank you for joining the cause. I don't know how we would have managed without you.
I got to steal a ship, climb around in an old mine, and narrowly avoid getting sucked into a neutron star. Definitely more fun than filing reports back on Trantor.
When you put it like that, it does sound fun.
What was that move? Who does that? You back up, crouch down. Oh. So, wait, there's a capsule.
Dad, I'm coming home. I know what you're gonna say. But I didn't kill Benoff. And the fact that you, of all people, were so ready to believe I could do something like that. Anyway, I wanted you to hear it from me first. I'm doing important work. If I have to break some laws to get it done, I can live with that.
Let me check. Did I check that storage closet? I think I did, but I want to be certain. No, right, I don't need to, because the door doesn't properly lock, as the thing mentioned earlier. Is there anything? No, doesn't look like it. Okay, now what am I supposed to do? Gather crew when ready. I feel like there are things I could have done to do a better job of tricking these people into thinking I'm on their side.
I just got a message back from Ravani.
Maybe next time I play this game, I'm not going to do it on recording or anything, but I should do a playthrough of this game where I am on their side, actually.
She's the one who set the agent up on Zoranel since I was busy being exiled at the time.
Vex, it's Viv. It's not safe for us to meet directly. The arms are everywhere and they know about the agent.
6, damn it.
You remember our old friend, the mask maker? I'll leave a message with her.
That's so funny. the Mask Maker is, this is not a Foundation reference. Mask Maker is another VR game. I guarantee you that was an intentional reference to this very popular, in my view, very good VR game.
You wanna meet me? Be careful. There's me.
But like, on this one, I could say.
What can we expect down there?
I'm biased, but I don't think there's a more beautiful planet in the whole galaxy. It's too bad you're not seeing it during the Golden Age. Things have gone downhill a bit since then.
What's the Golden Age?
Period of Zora history, back when the Six were still around. A lot of famous Zora art.
I just realized something. We were talking about how earlier, when I was talking with her about the Six, they said we're asking, you know, how were they around for generations? Were they immortal? And she says, no, just very long lived. I bet they were robots. I bet they were working for Daniil.
Work and debate comes from the Golden Age.
What does Mezami mean?
Not that it's any of your business, Empire, but...
You don't like me, do you?
Means beloved. Riv and I were involved back when we were acolytes.
Are you still together?
As much as we can be. Nothing like exile to stop a relationship in its tracks.
Well, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Riv is whip smart. Even when she's wrong.
Why would you...
How did the Ardent learn about the Foundation agent?
They have sources everywhere. You have to remember that the Ardent are heroes to some of my people.
I don't like how...
They're butchers.
You can't feel... Like, in Half-Life Alyx did a nice thing you could use with, you know, the kicking the vibrations, and they had an unusually sophisticated one, but a lot of games have, like, a vibration thing, so it feels like you're actually pushing on something and you can't, you know, just wave your hand through things. This game doesn't do that, and I don't like that.
Says the butcher's princess.
The Empire's hardly above killing people to further their goals. I know. I'm usually the one they send.
Every empire begins the same way. In blood.
I mean,
Let's
kind of. Yeah.
table the argument about who's more genocidal and circle back to the problem at hand. Shall we?
The Mask Maker lives in the annex outside the Temple of the Six. Cal, land the ship in the outskirts, and then Ward and I will go in on foot.
I'll join you. I have a lead I want to follow up on, just in case.
Guess I'll stay here all by myself. The ship is rigged for atmospheric entry. Good luck down there.
Ward, we must speak before you disembark.
Okay, so I'm going to go back there, and they're going to walk in on me, I bet. There has to be a reason why they had that line about the door not locking properly. And it might not happen in this specific conversation, but it's going to happen in one of my conversations with Bub. Guarantee it.
Well done with Vex. If you had removed the implant, I would have no way to help if you were in trouble.
Vex isn't going to let her guard down around me.
We don't need the barbarian to trust you. It's in her best interest to assist with this mission. You've done well with a challenging assignment. I know it must be taking a toll.
I promise you, I will honor my oath to the Emperor and to you.
I'm relieved to hear you say that. You are very important.
I knew it. Did I call it or what?
What's going on? I knew you were up to something. I'm telling Astoria.
Stop here.
Stop right there, or I will shoot.
Okay. I'm stopping. What happens now?
We don't talk about this to anyone, ever.
No sweat. I won't tell anyone.
He's lying.
Yes, you're...
Shoot him. Now.
Okay, so how am I
Good
supposed
job. I know that was difficult.
how is this supposed to work? How are we going to... Okay, he disintegrated, so there's no corpse, but how are we going to explain to the other two that he disappeared? We're going to claim that he was the traitor working for the Empire? I don't think they're going to buy that.
Now, you must avoid suspicion. Proceed normally, and his disappearance will appear innocuous, at least for a time.
Oh, bullshit, it will.
We will speak again soon.
Yeah, I don't see how this is possibly going to work. Can I talk to what's-her-face again? Doesn't look like it.
We need to chat.
Yeah. This is about Keldon.
Never thought I'd be home again.
It's gorgeous.
Have they seriously not noticed that Keldon's missing?
And empty. Where is everyone?
After your mother's little pep talk, my guess is an emergency debate session's been called in the forum. Grilk's probably arguing on behalf of the Ardent.
What kind of legal argument could Grilk even make? He attacked a major military installation.
It's not that simple, and you know it, Empire. The Ardent are our friends, our family, and sometimes people's heroes. Plenty of Zor agree with the Ardent's beliefs, just not with their violence.
Think you'll find anything at that Imperial Embassy?
I hope so. But I'm not holding my breath. It was abandoned when the mine on Reventloft Station closed. If nothing else, I can use their equipment to delay any action on Mother's ultimatum until we can find the Foundation agent, in case Vex's contact doesn't work out.
Riv will come through.
Seems odd for an Imperial Embassy to be built here.
My mother said that when she was young, all provincial worlds had Imperial embassies, no matter their distance from the galactic core. But that was a long time ago.
Now, hold up a second. If it's a provincial world, therefore meaning a province of the Empire, part of the Empire, then it can't really have an embassy. It could have Imperial representatives, but an embassy is something you send to a foreign nation.
This forum is where your government meets?
You should be able to see it on the horizon soon enough. Supposedly the first landfall debates were held there, and we've argued there ever since.
Refresh me on what the landfall debates are.
The landfall debates practically started Zor history. Before that, we were just refugees. They're the arguments from which we drew our laws.
Ah, that sounds definitely familiar.
Right, to business. The mask maker's shop should be just up the street. I'll help Astoria into the Imperial Embassy, then circle back. I shouldn't be on the planet right now, let alone in the capital, so I'll mostly keep out of sight.
Mask Maker's Shop. That is definitely a reference to the Mask Maker game.
Lead the way.
We should at least have a plan. Some idea of...
For the last time,
and get out.
please hold off on any additional maintenance requests for the steam ventilation shafts in the annex.
It should be simple enough
We
to
are
get
working to address the
just
issue.
take this road.
Thank you for your
Why
patience.
not? Your mother
I mean, I
just
fil like this is a pretty this is in a case where objections are understandable. You got boiling hot steam blocking people from using this hallway. That seems like a pretty serious
in
issue.
The next district over, past the forum? That seems drastically out of the way for an embassy.
Yeah.
The city was built around the temple and the forum. Damn Imperials were lucky we found space that close.
Yes, but Zorinel must have some sort of infrastructure department. This market area seems a bit expansive. They could have lived there.
The Ardent are not your enemies.
Right.
We are patriots. We fight on behalf of all Zor. From the lowliest verger toiling in the temple archives, to those brave scrappers who venture into the cold depths of space. We exist for you and your prosperity.
This kind of annoys me. This is something Asimov also talks about, the cold of space, and it shows up in, a lot of places. Space is not cold. Space has no temperature. One of the biggest problems, not one of the biggest problems, but a big problem that they have is that when designing spaceships is getting rid of the heat, because there is no air to conduct heat in space. Don't forget our deal. I am not a patient woman, Nika. Do not leave me
Store's
waiting.
closed.
What's the point of a message like that doesn't have, who it's from?
I'm quite busy, so if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Let me just ransack your office first. Then we...
Do you need something?
Shush. Private, not store business. Haida went to stay with a friend last week. I wish she hadn't. I'm worried about her. Ever since she started hanging around with those hoodlums, she hasn't listened to me.
Yes.
Another one. Got a lot of capsules around here. Bulk order request. We'll need 3 cynics, 6 arbiters, have to go north with me, even Dagus, Solstice. Would you shush?
Closed for the day.
1 singer, 4 mavens, and 7 vergers. Adhesive incident, don't ask. Okay.
What do you want, Imperial? Store's closed. Personal business.
You look nervous. Is everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. You could have simply knocked.
Our mutual friend, Ravani, sent me.
Finally. Ravani never mentioned you were an Imperial. Regardless, I'm glad you're here. I was beginning to think you wouldn't show.
What are these masks for, anyway?
Most were commissioned by the Temple. Each of these masks honors one of the 6. To wear their visage is to beg their protection and speak in their memory.
The 6 are your gods, correct? Why would gods need to wear masks?
Not even gods are safe from your empire. Some stories say the 6...
That's an interesting thing to say. You don't normally hear people saying, well, yeah, the gods we worship are good, but the secular authorities are way more powerful.
Adopted masks to hide from outside eyes their difference from us. Though precious, they were...
Their difference from us. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I'm more and more thinking they were robots. Or possibly second foundationers?
Few in number, and feared the wrath and greed of outsiders. Some stories say they wore no masks at all, but their faces were as polished and terrible as the sun.
They are robots. I was thinking humanoid robots like Daniil, but no, they're just robots. Interesting. Okay. A cynical robot.
How long have you known Ravani?
Oh, years now. We met when she began studying in the temple and I was an apprentice here. Mavens require a great many masks to perform their rituals, so we kept running into one another. Ravani is a dear friend of mine.
Your voice gets so hesitant when you talk about Ravani. Is something wrong?
Of course not. We just had a disagreement the last time we spoke over the scholar. Ravani isn't fond of its teachings. That's all.
What do you think of the debate in the forum?
It's awful, isn't it? I don't know what we're going to do. The Imperial hold on the periphery is as strong as ever. The Ardent have started a war we cannot hope to win, and all of Zoranel will suffer for it.
Spurning a decades-long alliance with the Empire to harbor violent extremists is foolish at best.
I think she
Perhaps the choice...
I think she misread that line. She said spooning when I think it was spurning.
Seems obvious to you, Imperial. But some of us have friends or family in the Ardent. Are we to abandon them? I can tell you where to meet Ravani. But first, you need the Arbiter's mask.
That wasn't the deal.
Neither was you being an Imperial. The Arbiter is eldest of the Six, the Truth Speaker. He who guided us through the endless disagreements of Landfall. That is the Arbiter. Ravani will meet you in the courtyard outside the Forum. Show her this mask, and she'll know I sent you.
Just materialized in your hand.
You have the Arbiter's mask. What else do you need?
Anything else to...
That's all I wanted. Thanks.
Go. Speak with Ravani outside the Forum. Rone Babamo.
No? Oh, there's a... What is that?
I must admit I'm curious, Ward. What does an agent of the Foundation need with members of a provincial barbarian faith? There's something deeper here, I'm sure of it.
Did you need a holocall for that? Couldn't you have just done that by voice?
Nice to see an Imperial out and about. The rest of your kind cleared out after the attack. If you were hoping to get into the Forum, you're out of luck. Talo's blocking the way. Some sort of protest.
I will not budge from this spot until you all recognize the truth. We are being led down a path of destruction. The Ardent are more interested in power than the well-being of our people. They have pushed us toward conflict with the Empire for years.
Not wrong.
They advocate for violence, spurning our laws, our traditions, our very way of life. And now, having provoked the Empire into war, they try to persuade us that they act in our best interest. We must...
Yeah, let's you and him fight. That's... Why does the ground keep changing here? But yeah, that's what's happened. They started the war, and now they want everyone else in Zorinel to finish it for them.
Not stand for it, friends.
The Ardent. They are a blight on this planet. They spit on our laws and disgrace our heritage. Not wrong. Shift change approved. Cynic knows we don't have enough vergers for me to turn you down. Still, don't think I missed who's protesting outside the Forum today. You're a better friend than he deserves. Oh, okay. It took me a second to parse this, but this is a guy who shifted, or a girl or somebody who switched with this guy, who switched shifts. I kept saying shifted switches. That doesn't make sense. Switch shift this guy so that he could protest. Oh, I'm standing on top of the banister. What do we got here? Is that one? What is this? Ah, here we go. Interesting. A lot of capsules around here. A gift. Marshall, I got something special for you in case things get ugly in the temple. Left in the locker by Foyan's stall. Code's 563. Okay, I'm going to keep this with me so I don't forget the code. 563. 563. Yeah.
Lousy thing.
Okay, well, didn't have to wait long to use that. I assume they do that deliberately so that you won't lose track. If they wanted you to be able to keep them longer, they would have let you put those in your inventory. Rescheduling notice. The Confederal Assembly's Scheduling Committee hereby approves the rescheduling of its regular meeting to accommodate the emergency session taking place at the Forum, to be conducted in person and via holoconference. And what is this thing? Seriously, what is this thing? How do I get this out of here? I can't grip it. To wed a Y, the Y were the mayors I mentioned earlier who want to usurp the Emperor. Then across the ballroom of the Dome's Edge Hotel, I saw him, Gale Halt Y. The heir to the Hawaiian mayoralty was unbelievably beautiful, like a statue of some Dacian emperor, and just as untouchable. Yeah, as I mentioned, the Dacians were the emperors from whom the Y's mayors were descended. How do I get this out of here?
Razokeduvi! Here, take this with my thanks.
What did I take? Oh, probably what happened there was that I was supposed to talk to him first, and then he'd say, "Can you get my holo projector working?" And then I opened this up. That's, I guess I sequence broke there.
Is that?
Live footage from the forum? You bet. It's just a matter of time before we turn over the Ardent. It has to be. We don't stand a chance against the Array.
What's your opinion? Should the Zor turn over the Ardent?
What kind of a question is that? Betray a subsection of my people? Admittedly heinous people? You wouldn't know what to choose either if it was your planet and people on the line. Imperial.
What's that obelisk for? Some kind of memorial?
Oh, that old thing? You're better off asking the Verger over there about it. It's got something to do with the Six and the landfall debates. That much I know.
Where'd the other merchant go?
The Forum, of course. All this talk of the Ardent had them skittish, you understand? So they went to lend their opinion to the proceedings.
You seem very calm about this.
Don't see the need for all this fuss, honestly. This isn't the first time the Empire has threatened us, and it won't be the last.
So did that, he gave me another sniper chip thing. Did that make this better in some way? Or is that just like, does it... What happened to the... I don't see what the point of that whole code thing was.
Yasuto, Imperial.
You look like a Mandalorian.
Time for sightseeing.
Looks like Boba Fett's mask.
I'm trying to reach the Forum, but that guy is blocking the way.
I don't know what business an Imperial would have in the Forum, but I've known Talo my whole life. It'll take more than pleading and threats to make him move.
You're concerned for your friend.
The Ardent have threatened him, and I'm pretty sure they're tracking his location.
Okay, so I guess I misunderstood that shift note earlier. This is the lady who requested shift, and she requested that she get this shift because she wanted to keep an eye on him. Make sure he's safe.
I kind of prefer if he didn't get himself killed over this.
How can you see out of that thing?
I've never been able to convince him of anything, but maybe if you remind him his life is in danger, it might convince him to give this up.
I'll keep that in mind.
That's a gorgeous monument.
Isn't it? It was made in the Golden Age to commemorate the landfall debates. The script on the side records the date of each major debate.
How can you tell it's from the Golden Age?
The construction, mostly. See the bronze? That plating is about twice as thick as we would regulate today. Just not enough metal to go around.
Okay, that's in keeping with the Foundation. The whole big thing was that it was a very metal-poor planet.
You're a verger, right? What does that entail?
Vergers build and maintain public infrastructure on Zorna.
Ah, okay, I misunderstood.
Mostly maintain. Just keeping the city running is a monumental task.
Pun.
Has been since the Great Cascade.
Great Cascade. Resonance cascade?
Great Cascade.
It was when the Six began to die. All of our technology stems from the Six. Without their guidance, we can no longer keep our oldest, most pivotal systems functioning.
What do you think about the debate going on in the forum?
You have to understand how loaded a question that is.
Yeah,
coming
that's
from
fair.
An Imperial.
That's fair.
But sure, I'll bite.
How?
Honestly,
You don't have a mouth.
I don't see the point. The Array survived, and the Empire controls Reventlof. What are we gonna do in the face of that?
I should go.
Suba kugotu duto kofeketo.
Good. An Imperial. Surely you can see how inappropriate it is that Grilk and the Ardent are being allowed to defend their heinous actions in the Forum.
Well, they have to. No, you can allow them to defend it. You shouldn't agree with them, but they have to be allowed to.
The Ardent have already threatened you. If you persist, they will kill you.
They wouldn't. It's unfathomable. Using violence instead of discourse, that's... This cause isn't worth my life.
Yeah, fair.
I'm a scrapper. My place is out there. Someone else can oppose the Ardent. Thank you, Imperial.
The floor textures keep shifting. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I'm in the Imperial Embassy. Nothing here has been touched since the mine closed. Headed your way, Ward. Keeping out of sight.
Okay, I'm going to stop this one here.